This is the plaintiff, Joseph Levy. He says he was attacked by the defendant's dogs. He was bitten and he contracted a very serious bacterial infection, which hospitalized him. The careless defendant refuses to pay him for his medical bills. He can't believe he has to bring him to court to do the right thing, and he wants the $4,716.48 he's owed. This is the defendant, Jerry Jaffe. He says his dogs and the plaintiff's dogs were sniffing one another, and the plaintiff got tangled in his leash and fell over. Then he kind of panicked, and he tugged hard on his dog's leash, and his dog nipped him in the hand. As far as he knows, his homeowner's insurance took care of the plaintiff's medical bills. This guy's just looking for a big payday, and that's the only reason he's suing. He's accused of failure to control your dog.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Joseph Levy, you are suing Jerry Jaffe for $4,716.48 in medical bills resulting from a dog bite, according to you. Talk to me. Tell me what happened.
Good day, Your Honor. On Sunday evening, March 8th, 2015, around 10:30 p.m.
2015?
2015.
Okay.
I was walking my dog immediately adjacent to my home in my neighborhood. The defendant is a neighbor who lives 2 blocks away and was walking his dog, dogs plural, on the other side of the street. He came across the street to say hello to me.
You two knew each other beforehand?
Yes, we do.
How did you know each other?
We're neighbors. We had worked in the same company previously.
Okay.
He came across the street with the 2 dogs, and immediately one of the 2 dogs lunged at my dog. We suddenly had a situation where there were 3 sets of leashes around my legs.
When you say lunged, what does lunged mean?
He had a black Labrador retriever that lunged to attack my dog.
Okay, and how far did it end up from your dog at that moment?
I pulled my dog back immediately, trying to pull him back behind me. The other 2 dogs went after my dog, and my dog went further behind me. The dogs went after him,
Okay.
and suddenly I had 3 sets of leashes around my ankle that took me down.
Okay.
So both of my legs were just tripped
Okay.
by the 3 leashes
Okay.
going beyond me.
And then what happens?
I was holding my dog basically in a headlock, and the other 2 dogs were right at my body, trying to get to my dog, and I was trying to defend my dog. During that process, I was bit on the hand. I did not realize it in the ensuing scuffle. The defendant then pulled his dogs back.
How does the bite happen?
While I was holding my dog, I was basically punching, trying to push them away from me. And having my hand out, one of the 2 dogs put their 2 incisors through my hand.
Okay. All right. So then he lets go of the leash so that you can get up, and you get up, and what do you two say to each other?
I was not able to get up until he was able to grab the leashes again and pull them away.
And then what do you do?
This is a neighborly situation, so I tried being nice about it. I thought I only had what I call road rash from going down on the pavement. I thought that I had just scraped myself. It was 24 hours later.
So you didn't feel the dog bite?
No, it's just this burst of adrenaline with 2 dogs that are just showing their teeth, growling, biting, and my trying to push them away.
Yeah, but a dog bite hurts. I mean, you didn't feel that the dog...
In that adrenaline moment, it did not hurt.
So you thought you had road rash from falling. All right, so then what happens?
24 hours later, I sent him a text message and to let him know that I'm trying to deal with the injury, and I sent him a photo of my hand.
Do you have that photo?
Yes, I do.
May I see it? And what does he say?
He said there's a thread here.
Yeah.
And he basically said, I'll cover all of your expenses.
Okay, so talk to me and tell me what happened that day.
In my opinion, it didn't happen as quick. From what I can recollect, it didn't happen as quickly as Mr. Levy is saying. I mean, the dogs were kind of circling, and we were, pulling them apart. And then somehow the leashes got tangled. I don't remember the exact details of how it happened, but
Did you guys just keep talking while the dogs?
No, we weren't.
Okay, you were on it,
but this leash is getting tangled is not an unusual thing when two these are active dogs. When they're around each other, leashes often get tangled, and you kind of laugh about it usually and pull your dogs apart, or something happens. It's usually a very pleasant encounter, but in this instance, with the 3 leashes, they got wrapped around Mr. Levy, and then he fell down, and I think I let go of my leashes in order to pull, to
Did you ever see
separate
your
them.
dog bite him?
I did.
And which dog bit him?
The white dog. It's a Spaniel Border Collie mix.
All right, and why did the dog bite? Were you able to dissect what happened there? Or?
Yeah, it's not a dog that bites people, so my dogs are generally friendly.
Right.
But she did bite him. Yes.
All right. In any event, then what happened?
I had filed an insurance claim with the defendant's insurance carrier.
Your homeowner's insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You deal with the insurance company, and the insurance company wrote you a check, right?
The insurance company wrote me a check for $1,000.
And then they said, we need proof of any further medicals that you claim are related to the dog bite, because we need to know that it's related to the dog bite. Because in fact, you never went to the doctor or the emergency room for a dog bite. You had a car accident and then went and then treated both, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So how many days pass before you get medical care for the bite on your hand?
I had called my doctor 2 days after the dog bite incident, and they told me just to watch it and use the bacitracin antibiotic ointment.
Were you washing it and using the ointment?
Yes.
Okay. But nonetheless, it got infected?
It became infected.
Okay.
And at which point I had the accident on
How long
Thursday
after the
morning,
dog bite was the accident?
4 days later.
Okay. So when you go to do you have the hospital records there?
Yes, I do.
Can I have them? Thank you. Okay. When you go into the hospital, what's your reason for being admitted?
Initially, that same time, I went to my doctor's office first and told them that I had passed out while I was driving on that Thursday morning, and that I had rolled into another car in traffic. I went into the doctor's office, and they looked at me and said that they thought there was something very wrong, and they sent me immediately to the emergency room. In the emergency room, the report indicated that I was in a state of shock. They had run quite a bit of testing and had indicated that there was an altered medical status and dog bite to the right hand, and they concluded that it was a bacterial infection that came from the dog bite.
That your head stuff was a bacterial infection?
Because I went, excuse me.
Can I see evidence of that in these? Because I looked at it, and what it says is your diagnosis was altered mental status, unspecified altered mental status type, hyperthyroidism, and dog bite of the hand, right initial encounter. And then most of your many, many thousands of dollars in medical bills. Do you have insurance?
Yes, I do.
Did your insurance cover it or no?
Part of the claim is to reimburse the insurance company.
Okay, what part of it? Like, in other words, how much did your insurance cover of this bill?
The insurance company reduced the hospital bills to that number of $2,975.
Oh, so they cover all the hospital bills, your insurance.
They covered all of the hospital bills except
and yet you're suing for $7,622.
The total out-of-pocket by me, including the automobile damage.
Automobile damage? How did his dog cause you to have an automobile accident?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, if the plaintiff got tangled up in the leash, so that's kind of the plaintiff's doing. Does the plaintiff get money from the defendant for medical bills?
Yes, unfortunately, he still managed to put him in a situation that the defendant's dog.
Well, who put who in the situation? The plaintiff's the one that got tangled up and then bitten.
Yeah, but if you know that your dog is aggressive, you should not let them close enough to get tangled up with another dog.
Yeah, but who owns a dog here? If your dog is tangled up in somebody else's leash because they got tangled in it, is your dog maybe just going to be protective and bite?
Harvey, I think you have to be responsible for your dog at all times when you bring him out in public. So I think it definitely is the defendant who's responsible.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Because of the bacterial infection, It was concluded.
Well, how do we know that's not because you didn't take? First of all, if we were to assume that you had a car accident over bacterial infection, how are we not to assume that that's because you didn't take very good care of it in 4 days?
The hospital
You
provided
didn't even see a doctor for it.
I did consult my doctor previously. However,
that didn't work out very well because he said, you're fine, just wash it and put some. So how's that the dog's fault or the dog owner's fault?
The hospital has provided, as part of their discharge information.
Yeah, they told you how to take care of a dog bite. You definitely had a dog bite. There's no question you had a dog bite. The problem that I'm having is that you have $7,000 in medical bills or more, $8,000, right? And then you've already received $1,000 from his homeowner's insurance to cover what they deem to be the portion that they could see that might be for a dog bite, putting to aside fault, because I'm not sure that you as a dog owner did anything wrong, since you're both doing what I think is kind of goofy. You're both agreeing to have your dogs sniff each other's behinds, and then, assuming the risk of what happens after that. Putting all that to aside, his insurance company pays you $1,000. Your bill is $8,000, but it's not, because your insurance company paid it all at $2,900. Instead of coming in here and saying, well, I want to reimburse my insurance company, you're suing for something that isn't really the bill, that the bill was reduced. So why are you suing for that?
Your Honor, I've indicated in my spreadsheet that I'm reimbursing my insurance company for the portion of their out-of-pocket.
And where's the rest of the money going?
The rest of the money is paying for my out-of-pocket for medical bills, as well as the $722 in vehicle damage that occurred as a result of my blacking out from the bacterial infection. In the hospital discharge instructions...
The hospital discharge papers, nor any doctor's testimony in this trial, indicates that whatever fugue state you were in that caused your accident was as a result of a dog bite. A CT scan of the head, which is, they were checking to see what was wrong with you. I need to see something from a doctor that says that a bacterial infection caused your mental altered state. The only thing I see is that you had some mental altered state, so you say, because really they checked your brain and everything was fine. So unless you're going to show me something to suggest that the dog bite caused all this head stuff and crash, all I got is a dog bite for which you've already been compensated $1,000. So having heard everything I've listened to, my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
So the plaintiff, Mr. Levy, who was seeking $4,700 here in the People's Court, ends up with nothing. It was a bust for you today. I'm sorry about that. What do you think about the judge's verdict?
I totally disagree with the judge's verdict. I had an accident at 1 mile per hour, and I had sustained minor damage to vehicles.
The judge heard that, but there's no evidence or proof that the dog bite was a result of that. That's what the judge said.
I heard proof. What the judge said.
Well, I'm sorry. You were seeking, obviously, I think she thinks you were seeking a lot more than you really just didn't have the evidence to prove. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's it. Okay. All right, here comes the defendant, Mr. Jaffe. Boy, I'm sure you never expected to get brought into court for all of this, did you?
I did not.
I mean, what's your reaction when you got sued for this?
Well, I mean, my insurance company really did try to settle this in the best way that they could, and they did keep asking for records. I mean, I didn't get a chance to present them, but they were sending him letters almost every month for more than a year, because I advised them that he was going to be calling with a claim. So that's why when I finally did receive all the medical records, I was kind of shocked.
I'm sure you were shocked. So you must feel better now, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. You're still friends with him?
We're
Yes,
we're good acquaintances.
You're good acquaintance? Still good? Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see now,
see.
yeah. Okay, we will see. All right,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's pretty interesting. Harvey?
Okay, I mean, I got to say, Doug, it sounds like the plaintiff was trying to get all the nails in on that bill for the defendant, and I don't think that there was any proof of that. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.